morning. I'm Marcia Boyles, and I'm delighted this morning to introduce our guest, Michael Ritt, who is our executive chef. Michael, you probably don't need much introduction around here. You've been here for what?
Going on 6 years almost.
6 years. I knew it had been.
Time flies.
It does indeed, and I haven't. You and I haven't sat in a Village of Motion for at least a couple of years, I think.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's funny because when I first came here, my daughter was about 3 months old, and she started kindergarten today. So
today?
Well, yesterday she started. It just shows you how time flies.
Oh, my goodness. We've all noticed that, for sure.
Yeah.
Michael, you said you had a number of things to discuss.
We have quite a few things going on here in dining, and we'll start with next week. Obviously, Friday the 15th is Gala, and just to make sure residents are aware that the Jefferson will be closed for service that night. The bistro closes early. We will have a modified menu in both Fireside and Woodland Skies, and this is to handle, because obviously we're going to have larger crowds than usual for the nights, and
Michael, could I stop you just
Sure.
for a second? When you say the bistro will close early, what does that mean?
I think they're closing they're not going to open they're going to close after lunch.
After lunch,
and
all right.
I'm almost certain of that. It won't be open, obviously, for dinner because they're going to use part of the bistro for the gala event.
Thank you.
And the one thing we ask residents is because of the influx of extra residents coming there, just to be, courteous of your fellow residents that, when they come in and enjoy their meal, obviously we want them to enjoy their meal, but be aware that there's going to be larger crowds, so the dining rooms are going to have to anticipate that. So that's what we ask for. Right. On the 19th, we have our, I'm going to go over a few things that I have written down here. Obviously, we have a lot, so I write it down.
Where are the major events for the gala?
It's in the Jefferson, and they use the
lobby
of Hunters Crossing,
okay.
And then the conference center downstairs.
All right.
So Friday the 22nd, we have our farmers market. Now this will only be a farmers market, no cookout, just a farmers market. And then on the 29th, we're going to do just the cookout, no farmers market.
Oh, okay.
We're going to separate them, and we talked to Knowles Produce, and they seem to think that they seem to do a little better when there's no cookout. And also,
no, that would not be, that's counterintuitive. I mean, I would think some people would go for the cookout and also buy.
I think to them it's because there's limited space behind the bank and the store, so it gives them more area to spread out. They can bring more product to show off and all that. And for the cookout, it gives us more area to work with. And we like to do the cookout at the end of the month because obviously we know the cafe gets inundated at the end of the month. And this is just giving not just residents, but employees that option to, well, if the cafe's a little crowded, come on downstairs. Last time we did it was beautiful outside.
Yes.
We're in September, so it's not going to be 100 degrees outside. The weather will be nice. We have some tables and chairs that the people can sit down and enjoy their cookout food.
Oh, it's great fun.
And it's just...
Michael, do you have any idea how long the farmers market is going to continue?
Right now, we're looking through September. I have been talking to them to see if they can do one more in October, like a fall festive, that maybe we can, and I'm in talks with actually Valerie Knowles, and they're not saying no. We're just going to work out the logistics and all that and the time frame. But I think
their produce is so fine.
Oh yeah,
it's a great service.
It's that memory. I mean, that's name recognition. People know who they are if you've been around this area. So it's that comfort. So on the 19th, we have the movie on the green. And the movie we are showing is in Going Style, and that's with Anne Margaret and Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman. And it's going to be, the location has been changed. We are using the visitor parking in front of Hunters Crossing.
Now, wait a minute. You're totally confusing me. Why is Dining Services doing a movie?
Well, we're doing a movie on the green because we're going to have concessions there also. So this is all-inclusive. The movie is free. Gates open, or we start seating at 7. The movie starts at 8, and we're going to have concessions there, and we're going to have drinks.
This is an outdoor movie.
Yes, ma'am. And now the rain location would be the conference center, obviously, and the gates open at 7. Movie starts at 8. It's all you can eat We're going to have, some hot dogs and hamburgers. We're going to have concessions, movie stuff. We're going to have drinks. Now, it's $20 for residents, $25 for guests.
You have to buy tickets ahead of time?
No, well, you have to call Phyllis to make a reservation.
Oh,
and actually, I appreciate that, because it says right here, sign up required, see Phyllis in dining admin office, 604-4200. And we say that's $20. That could be cash, resident charge, or one flex meal. And again, it's all you can eat. So it's not a bad, we'll probably have
And where exactly is it going to be
the parking
located?
lot, the guest parking lot, right in front of Hunter's Crossing.
Okay.
Between, where the putting green is and
Yes,
the entrance,
yes.
that little parking lot right there.
All right.
So we're going to clear it out, set up the screen. We're going to have the concession stands going.
And what, you bring chairs out there?
We'll have chairs out there for the residents. Obviously, some residents, if they have their
Vehicles,
EMVs,
sure.
they can have that. But yes, we will be supplying chairs.
Have you ever done this before?
I think before my time, they've done it before.
All right, I don't ever remember hearing of such a thing. I mean, it sounds like great fun.
G's taking the lead on this. He's doing a great job coordinating this, and he and I are working together on the concessions. We'll probably bring a grill out there and cook some hot dogs and hamburgers, and yeah, we're
All right, now, so the movie starts at 8.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, it's getting dark by 8.
Yeah, I think.
And what's the date of this again?
The 19th of September. And then we have a couple other things that are.
That is like Tuesday?
That is a Tuesday, yes, ma'am. And then we also have on Tuesday the 12th, we have National Chocolate Milkshake Day. All lobbies will be doing that.
My goodness, you are going to be busy on the 19th.
Yeah, a little busy.
Whoa.
We have flyers out for the, please see the flyers on the communication boards and also at the hostess for the particular times in the lobbies. Again, we have birthday cakes celebration on Wednesday the 13th. We usually have the birthday cake out in the lot, for any of those celebrating birthdays in the month of September. We've been doing that for a while.
Or even if they aren't celebrating.
Even if
September.
no one's going to smack your hand for taking a piece of cake.
Nobody's going to check IDs.
And then on September 19th again, Fireside and Potomac Cafe have their town halls. Fireside is from 10 to 11 in the dining room. Potomac Cafe will be from 11 to 12 in the cafe. And again, town hall, that's, we've been doing this for years. Residents come out and whatever comments they have, good, bad, and different, we always have an open ear. And it's we learn a lot, and I think it's a great communication tool that, at the end of the meetings, a lot of times they're a little one-on-one, and I think the residents appreciate that.
What kind of attendance have you been getting at those?
Fair. We've noticed that they've been dropping, which I think may be a good thing because, I think, when we first started, Jefferson, the first one we did this year, we had a good crowd, and then it slowly diminished a little. Same with Fireside and Cafe. Beginning, they were large crowds, and we've seen them slowly diminish a little. For whatever reason, we try to get the communication out there for the residents, but, again, it's one of those open forums. We talk about the team, change that we're doing. Obviously, over at Fireside, we have the big construction project going on.
I was going to ask you about that construction, but now it's the floor.
We are doing, it's not just the floors. We are doing the floors, the walls, and the ceilings. We're bringing in these new LED lights into the kitchens. Not only are they brighter, but they're cost effective. They use less electricity, so that's a win-win for the community. The floor is a new poured floor. It's a easier managed floor, and it's also easier. We had quarry tile in there. Now we're getting a poured floor, which is easier on the feet, and it's easier to manage. It's a safer floor. And then the paneling we're getting is a smoother paneling. It doesn't have the ridges, so it's easier to clean. It's a brighter white. We also are upgrading a few pieces of equipment in the Fireside kitchen. So it's going to be a definite improvement. The kitchen's going to look brighter, look cleaner. I think it's going to be
Michael, one of the things that I think everybody's curious about is how in the heck are they managing to function in there while all this is going on?
I mean, I give the kudos to Chef Mark and Willie and Ada and Corey and his management team. It's smoke and mirrors. It's not easy, I will say that.
I'm a little surprised, frankly, that the health department is allowing.
Well, we actually that you mentioned that, the health department came in yesterday.
They did.
And she did a
they're not
walkthrough.
having a fit about this?
She took her temperatures and checked everything, and everything was fine.
Wow.
You know, the one thing we always are sure of is that, well, we still have the equipment, we still have the refrigerator, we have a freezer downstairs that we're utilizing, and all the cooking equipment is working, the dish machine area is still up and running.
Well, now, the construction crew is not in there while they're cooking.
Well, no, what happened is we've divided the kitchen in half.
Oh, okay.
So we've closed down the
All
back
right.
part of the kitchen,
I
so
see.
there's a wall up, so we can't, there's no, they don't come, we can't go back.
Never the twain shall meet that in
They
terms
will
of
never,
cooking and
no,
construction.
because there is a secure wall from floor to ceiling, side to side, that you can't get, actually the door's locked, construction can get in there, there's no staff allowed, it's sealed off. And then when they go to the front part, obviously, we're gonna make arrangements where we won't have the use of the cooking equipment, so if everybody was here when we did signature dining, when we did the equipment, we would cook in one, and we have these big, huge, what we call Queen Anne boxes, mobile boxes that we plug in and heat up, kind of like the same boxes that they use in Garden Ridge, but a lot bigger, that we can, we cook the food, put it in hot, we can transport it.
Nice.
We did the same thing for signature dining for both Woodland Skies and Fireside. The crew went to one, cooked, and brought it to the other, and vice versa when we did the changeover. So we're going to pretty much do the same thing.
All right, and then, all right, so then you just switch sides.
Yeah.
In terms
well,
of construction.
and then what you'll do is you will see a modified menu, obviously, for the reasons, because in transportation we'll probably move more to a buffet service, because we won't be able to do.
How long will that probably last?
We're looking at 6 weeks.
6 weeks. All right, now it's already been going for maybe
About
5 or 6
4 or
weeks.
5 weeks.
4 or
yeah.
5 weeks, and then you envision another.
Yes, what they'll do is they'll finish up the back half of the kitchen that they're
Are
working
they
on
about
right
done
now.
with that?
You know, with construction, you don't know. A couple weeks, I would say. They have the walls up, they have the lighting in there, they're getting ready to do the floor. The floor takes about a week, and then they'll just finalize everything. So that's why I say 2 weeks.
Okay.
But again, I'm
And then
not a
they
construction
switch at
foreman,
another-
so, and then what we'll do is they'll finish up the back half, and then they'll come to the front half, take out the equipment, take out everything, prep the kitchen, and start working on that front half.
Will there be a few days of absolute shutdown?
Well, once they come to the front half, the Fireside kitchen will be shut down because they'll be removing the equipment, but we'll still continue to serve. We'll do a buffet service
I see.
out of the Fireside. We'll probably utilize the Jefferson kitchen because the Jefferson kitchen is suited for that volume production, and we'll have these large, like I said, these Queen Anne's, these hot boxes that will transport the food from Jefferson to Fireside, and we've done it before, a couple years ago, so we know what we're doing.
Okay.
And
And
the
do it buffet style?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh.
So, and I think, you know, listen, it's not going to be easy. I'm not, I give kudos to the whole dining service team.
I think the logistics must be incredibly difficult.
It's not easy, but,
it wouldn't
you know, we always, you know, it's funny, we talk about it's 24/7, 365 here. We had the blizzard 2 years ago. I don't think we missed a meal. We missed a service. When we changed over for signature dining, we didn't miss a meal, miss a service. When there was power outages and all
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
I think we adapt well. Is it the ideal situation we want to be in? Absolutely not.
Oh, I can
but
imagine.
I think that the rewards at the end are well worth it. When you see this kitchen when it's done, in the kitchen, think about that. That town center kitchen is, almost 20 years old. So it needed, we're just bringing it up to, more modern standards. We're making it more efficient operationally, that it's going to be easier for the culinary team to work with. We're removing some older pieces of equipment that we really don't need anymore and changing them out with equipment that's going to be more suitable for the program, the signature dining program. We're also bringing in a couple pieces that are going to help enhance the program and also help the crew, on production-wise, that it's an easier operation in there. So.
Well, for sure, those of us who have had appliances, 20-year-old appliances are usually pretty tired.
Well, we have some new stuff in there. that we brought in for signature. So that stuff's not really getting changed. What we might do is relocate it so it's a smoother operation, but that equipment's not getting changed. What we might do is take one piece of equipment out that's been there since day one and replace it with a piece that we think will be more suitable for this operation that we're going to be running. And also we have space to also add another piece of equipment, so why not utilize that open space, put another piece of equipment in there that'll make the job easier. So that's what we're looking at, and maybe rearranging some tables and just to make it a smoother operation. But the end results are going to be well worth it. General service team's doing a great job. I think, general service and dining are working hand in hand, so they know what our expectations are, and we know what's going on, and you have to have that working together, and it helps to make the project run smoother in the end result.
I'm just curious, Michael, how many meals a day on average do you serve at Green
Spring on a whole, I would say between 2,300 and 2,500, because you have to take into consideration you have Garden Ridge, which is breakfast, lunch, and dinner, plus their 2 snacks. We have the cafe that does breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We have the Jefferson, Woodland Skies does lunch and dinner, and we have the Fireside. So if you wanted to add it up, there's about 280 residents in Garden Ridge, so you multiply that 3 times. Plus we do about 400 to 500 in Jefferson. Plus we do probably another with lunch and dinner in Woodland, 400 to 500. Plus you have the cafe and Fireside, which probably combined all day is 700.
So about 2,300 to 2,500 a day.
And that's not counting any catering going on either.
Whoa.
And I
where does catering do their preparation?
Depends on the venue that the function's in. It comes out of that kitchen. If it's in the conference center, it comes out of the Jefferson kitchen at Hunter's Crossing. If it's in Town Center, so we utilize. If it's in Garden Ridge, it comes out of the Garden Ridge kitchen, and same with Woodland Skies. So yeah, Akatik we use. So it's pretty much we utilize all the production kitchens for catering. We don't have a said catering kitchen yet, but hopefully down the road that'll be something that we look at.
For large events, doesn't that get to be a bit of an issue?
I think, we have a great team here. We adapt well. And I think, you look at something like gala. This would be my 6th gala. And the good thing is that Jefferson Kitchen's closed for service, so we utilize that kitchen. And then we do the service out of, the catering pantry. We had the catering downstairs. We utilized, last year we did it out of the lobby and the back of the conference center, so we could feed the room from 2 sides, and it worked really well. Logistically, I think we've done it enough times that we know what to do, and with the catering, I think we've done enough, like chef dinners, which we have one coming up in October, and functions that we know the staff's done it. Our dining staff's been here, a lot of people have been here 15 years plus.
Yes.
I'm here going on 6 years. A lot of the chefs have been here for a while. So not only have we done it, but we've all worked together, so we know, how we can do it. Seafood Fest, everything was downstairs, but we prepared it. And at the same time, remember during Seafood Fest, it was on a Sunday. Jefferson was doing their brunch till 2 o'clock. We were in there getting ready for the Seafood Fest at 5 o'clock. So it's like an orchestra. You got to get all the instruments working together. It's a little bit of organized chaos, I'll be honest, but I think that we've done it enough. We know what's coming. We plan. It's all into planning. Everything is, what I say, devil in the details. Everything's about the details and the planning that you do. And that if you have it all down and everybody knows their requirements and responsibilities, that it all comes together.
Michael, let me ask you a question. Who determines the menus here? Is it in-house or is it corporate?
It's in-house. We have a template that, we have to have so many items on the menu. What we put on the menu is at our discretion. Now we have...
Now when you say our discretion, who is actually making those decisions?
It would be the chef and the GM and the sous chefs, the culinary team. Over in Fireside, it's Chef Mark and Corey and their team, and in Jefferson, it's Chef Zanab and Mama and Tata Nisha and their teams. And here in Woodland Skies, it would be G and Delia and Shannon, and they all get together.
Let me ask you a question. In Woodland Skies, I tend to do Woodlands pickup, and I think all of us wonder why a menu can't change. That the menus are for a full month with the items, and why, for those of us who eat no sugar added pie, let's say,
Right.
to have the same pie every single day for a month is maybe a little much.
One thing that I stress, I know we do our specials that rotate on a weekly basis.
Well, there
and we
are
do
specials, but the basic, the vegetables and the
Right.
entrees are for a month.
I understand that, and the one thing
And why is that necessary?
Well, that's just one. There's a couple reasons. One, if we change the menu, what we saw with our old, when we did the batch cooking and we changed every day, one, there was a lot of waste because you were literally changing your menu every day, every day, every day. And you can control so much. But again, we have the tools, we can see what we did last time, but we don't know exactly that day. Let's say we ran for
I
argument.
can understand your argument about not changing it every day, but why not more often than a full month?
I think it also.
We get so tired of.
We have to think about if we were changing for argument's sakes every week, the strain it would put on the culinary team of learning something, it takes a day or two. So now you start Sunday, by Monday, maybe Tuesday, everything's moving smooth, and then you start all over again Sunday.
I think, okay, so it's the fatigue of the.
I just think it makes it, there's many, one, also with signature dining, and I talked to residents about this. I know a lot of residents say, well, I only eat in Fireside, but that's a resident's choice. They're not obligated to. And what we try to stress with signature dining, the program's designed that we want residents as much as possible to travel and to enjoy the menus. When you think about it, any given day, you have 28 items plus the desserts and the sides and Woodland Skies, another 28 plus the desserts and the sides and the soup specials and Fireside. You have the cafe with their menu, and then you have the Jefferson that does have that changing menu every day. So I really stress for the residents to, travel around.
Michael, I think that's not realistic for a lot of people. Most people are going to go to a restaurant that is close by. When you think of the size of Greensbury, and I don't mean to be argumentative.
Oh,
here,
no. I've had this conversation numerous times.
I'm sure you have, but not with me. So
that's all right.
It will be. No, again, I think the convenience of the residents is probably, in my estimation at least, as important as the convenience of the culinary staff. And so I think we just all wonder why in the world we, can't have a changing menu rather than a full month's worth of the same menu.
Well, there's options that we can look at. I'm not going to make any promises or put anything in stone, but there's options that we can look at down the road. And we actually have our dining operations team meeting today, and these are concerns that I can bring to, because we'll have all the managers there and myself and Ty.
Well, let me put in a vote for. Please try to change it more than once a month.
We can talk about modifications that we can do. I wouldn't say the whole menu's going to change, but we can discuss it today and see. Obviously, I'd be lying to say if you're the only person who's brought this up before.
Michael, I'm sure you've heard this many times.
But
absolutely.
On the other side, I talk to my peers, and there's other communities where the residents do seem to move around more between venues, and they enjoy that option.
Are they smaller communities where it's a bit closer?
No, I've talked to my peers at Ann's Choice, which is actually bigger than this community.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, Riderwood, Oakcrest, which are, if not bigger, the same size. Talk to my peers and how it's going. And yes, you have these questions at other communities, but in the long run, we try to promote our residents, take advantage of the many dining venues that you have here in the community. I understand some residents, it's convenience.
Right.
It's a health reason. They just like the staff there. I've, my same server, and I'm comfortable there, and I understand that.
I'm afraid we all get in ruts, too.
And I just think that, for those that can, I promote, take a week and try the different venues, and you'll be surprised. But we can discuss, your suggestion and your thought. As far as the menus that we pick, we have what we call Net Menu, and it's a recipe vault. Probably has about 4,000, if not more, recipes in there that we'll just look through, and we'll pick the menus that we want to utilize. And
how far ahead do you pick them?
we usually go it depends. We'll go a week. If there's a holiday coming up or special.
Just a week.
We'll plan.
Now, do you do the ordering?
You mean the when we do the menu itself?
Yes.
Well, the menu is done on a monthly basis. So 2 weeks before that, they'll start working on it.
And
we'll
then
look
you've
at
got to figure out what to order.
Correct.
And does that all give you all the ingredients and
absolutely the menu's broken? Well, the same system that has the Net Menu that has the recipe vault also has our ordering system.
Oh, okay.
So when you pick your menu and you load your recipes in there, and you go to order,
sure.
It'll say, well, how many of each are you going to make? And the system will tell you what to order. Now, the chef will be like, well, I only have 10 pounds. I don't need 10 pounds. The chefs will review that.
Right.
But the system will tell you through the ingredients.
But it's automated to that degree. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And then you simply call your supplier?
Well, everything's done electronically. We order online.
Oh, you do?
So, and it's better that way because you get a confirmation, and also that you can look at it, and that it goes like that, and you don't have to worry about phone line being busy or someone at a phone.
Well, now, I would think, for example, there might be some quality changes. In other words, quality differences that they would say, do you want grade A beef or do you want...
I can tell you we have an order guide that we have selected through our PAC committee, which is made up of chefs and managers throughout the company, that they meet a couple times a year and they review product and all that. And I can tell you, we pick, we're not looking to, obviously we have a business to run, but we're not looking to downgrade product just to save a nickel. We look at we brought the fillets back.
I noticed.
And both.
We all noticed. People were sending emails to each other.
And
guess what?
you know where that came from? That came from you all. The residents want it. Let's bring it back.
There was a celebration yesterday because the fillets were back. Yes.
And I think people are doing a little happy dance.
Yeah, almost. I got two emails about it.
we're not looking to save a nickel. At the end of the day, and I don't want to sound corny, at the end of the day, we're coming into your home and we're cooking your meals, and we want to give you the best product, in a timely fashion where you can enjoy your dining experience. And that's what it comes down to. And we'll look at, all our produce is brought in fresh. All our vegetables are brought in fresh 6 days a week. Our fish is brought in, most of it. Some of it, obviously, because of logistics, is brought in frozen. But I always tell people, especially with vegetables, people always poo-poo fresh vegetables. And I said, do you know that frozen vegetables? A frozen vegetable contains more nutrients and vitamins than the same raw product. People say, why is that? I'll give you an example. When they cut broccoli off the stalk, right, out in the field, and they crate it, it's immediately losing a lot of its nutrients because you've taken it off the stalk, right? Now, when they cut it, and a lot of times they flash freeze it right there, boom,
Do they
you're capturing,
practically on the spot?
Yeah, they right at the farm or the facility. They capture a lot of those nutrients and vitamins in that frozen product that it doesn't.
Well, frozen vegetables really are fine. I assumed you were using a lot of canned.
No. Vegetables? Absolutely not. Maybe beets, something like that. But I would say 80% of it is fresh. Oh, you come in our kitchens and walk in our coolers, and they are stocked with fresh produce.
Well, produce
and that's the thing we've always talked about also. We've had kitchen tours, and we're going to start them up again.
Are you?
And, I welcome the residents. We're not going to bring 30, 40 residents in at a time, but we're going to start them up again and And I think a lot of the residents enjoyed that opportunity to come back and see what goes on behind those doors.
Absolutely.
It's like Wizard of Oz. What's behind the curtain? You know?
Michael, I see that we've run out of
I got two things real quick that I can do.
Real quick.
Sure. Just coming up in October on the 11th, we have our chef's dinner. There's going to be more information to come out about that.
The menus.
And then on October 1st, Woodland Skies Dining Room will be closed for lunch and reopened for dinner because sales will be having their fall expo. And there'll be more information to come. So, and then on September 22nd is National Ice Cream Cone Day. Ice cream cones will be offered in all dining rooms. So there's, and I'm sure we'll have sugar-free.
We didn't get a single call, but we sure had lots to discuss.
I don't know if that's good or bad, you know?
I don't know either.
So I'll take it
Anyway,
as good. But I appreciate it. Thank you. And I appreciate all your questions. You know, I tell residents out there, if you see me in the hall, got a question, ask me, because I always tell people I don't know what I don't know.
Well, and I know you really do try to be transparent, which we all appreciate. And I think it's a good sign that we probably didn't get any calls and that you're getting fewer people of the day.
Or I'll get that. I really didn't want to call in, but I got a question for you. So.
Right. Well, Michael, this has been fun today.
I enjoyed it.
I did too. I'm glad you came.